We want to introduce today the narrative paragraph. Let's start defining which is narrative.
The definition of a narrative is a piece of writing that tells a story and is one of four classical rhetorical modes or ways that writers use to present information. The others include a exposition which explains and analyzes an idea or set of ideas, an argument which attempts to persuade the reader to a particular point of view, and a description, a greater form of a visual experience. Telling history is an ancient art that started long before humans invented writing. People tell stories when they gossip, tell jokes, or reminisce about the past. Written forms of narration include most forms of writing: personal essays, fairy tales, short stories, novels, plays, screenplays, autobiographies, stories, even news stories have a narrative. Narratives may be a sequence of events in chronological order or a imagine tell with flashback or multiple timelines. So we can say that a narrative paragraph tells a story, something happens first, second, third, etc. Of course, narrative paragraphs are used in a fiction as a writer describes the unfolding of events, but they are also found when describing any actual sequence of activity.
Now that we know which is narrative and a narrative paragraph, let's learn about the purpose of the narrative paragraph.
The purpose of a narrative paragraph is to express a speaker's thoughts on a particular point in a clear way that is unique and specific that paragraph. In other words, paragraph shouldn't be mixing thoughts or ideas. When a new idea is introduced, generally a reader will introduce a new paragraph. A narrative can be factual or fictional. A fictional story is one that is based on tries to be faithful to actual events as they unfold in a real life. A fictional story is a made of imagined story. You can use a narrative paragraph to generate reading ideas based on their experience, learn techniques from other authors and apply to their own reading, write stories that are focused in one small moment with details distorted, write from their own perspective, plans, drop, revise, and edit histories.
Now that we have learned about the structure of the narrative paragraph, it's time for we to learn how to create one. We also will learn about its structure.
People say that you are what you eat, but you are even more closely defined by the way that you write or speak, using correct grammar in writing. Sentences structure, your writing, commas, the use of strong sentences. Your sentences must have a subject and a predicate. Each sentence should feature an action, verbs, and vivid adjective. Narrative most often use past tense verb and adverb. They feature proper nouns to describe specific people and places, as well as first person, personal pronouns, since the story is so intimate to the author. Paragraph structure. You should begin a narrative paragraph with a topic sentence. This sentence introduces your story and gets the reader interested. You should then add at least three clear descriptive ideas as body sentences. Some ideas can be developed in one sentence, but some will need two descriptive sentences. For example, if you are writing a personal story about how you treat abroad affected your life, and with a sentence that talks about future plans to travel abroad, or how you will keep that spirit of adventure intact now that you are home. Grammar conventions. Other elements of grammar are important for polished writing. Start each sentence with a capital letter and end with concluding punctuation. Check the spelling truth of the essay. Use first-person point of view for your narrative and maintain a consistent voice throughout. Keep sentences structured parallel, structure and maintain subject-verb agreement. Connect your ideas through the use of transitions. Troubleshooting. Avoid fragment and run or sentences when you are creating strong sentences. Stay away from cliches, slang, and redundancy in your narrative. These tendencies will distract your reader. Other common errors include a topic conclusion sentence that does not relate to the entire narrative or detailed sentences that are not fully developed.
Now that we saw the structure of the narrative paragraph, it's time to put it in practice. Here is an example. I remember when I first arrived in the United States. Even before the plane landed, the little windows of the airplane revealed snow and ice-covered houses and buildings. As I walked off the plane, cool air crept though the corridor ramp that led to the airport terminal. Some people inside the airport was wearing coats and hats, which I had seen on television, but never up close. I felt a little dizzy and needed to sit down. And then my cell phone rang. It was my Aunt Sophia. She was waiting for me outside in the passenger pickup area. So I walked quickly to the exit, forgetting all about my luggage. When the sliding glass door opened to the outside, there was my aunt, a woman I hadn't seen in over 10 years. She was waving her arms frenetically in my direction. Fantastic. Now I get ready to write your own narrative paragraph. So put it in practice.